Live for the Power Chat series. Today, our guest is Brianna Nurse for the King of New York post show. Brianna, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Excited to have you on. I was following along the tournament as it was going on, and the recap that Jesse Ray, the promoter, did sounded like it was a great tournament. How'd you do?
I did well. I won my open weight division as well as overalls. So yeah.
Clean sweep. What was the competition like?
It was a great competition. You had people from Boston, and then we also had people from Canada, which I felt was nice to have, just to have like those overseas people as well come to this tournament. So yeah.
Awesome. How many women were in your open weight division?
Open weight, there was three of us.
Three people. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. And then you won the overalls. So I know there's those signature chairs at the tournament. Did you snap a picture?
Yes, of course I did.
Awesome. And that's a really cool setup he has going on. He also mentioned that it was run really smoothly. Can you tell
Mhm.
me a little bit more about when you got there, when you left, and what the event was like?
Yeah, of course. When I got there, it was ran. My mother obviously she helps with spectators coming in and out, so we had to get there early. We got there early, and it's run very punctually. Where he does open weight in the morning at 8 a.m. So like that was very new. Like it wasn't new to me because I was at his tournament last year. However, I do like the 8 a.m. start. It's like it lets you get like into the mode instead of us starting like sometimes we have open weight at like 9 p.m. sometimes where it's the day feel like it's just dragging along. As well as I feel like the tournament was very like it was a very fast, quick tournament. When rings was open, they was moving people from different rings. So the tournament was ran really fast. I was done competing probably by like 11:30, 12. So it was nice, like done everything, open weight and division. So it was very nice to have like to be done so fast. So like even with the students that we had there, I was able to support my students, and it wasn't like I was, oh my gosh, I'm about to go compete, and we had to go back and forth. So yeah.
So you were able to support your students. Tell me more about not just the competition in the women's division, but were you able to catch some of those men fighting as well as the juniors?
Yes, of course. So Ty, we trained together. So I was obviously able to see Ty fight. Ty and Bailey fight for overalls was amazing. We see that and go back and forth all the time. So it was nice to see that happen again. Also, too, you got to see people like Devin Hopper come out, which is like new. It's always nice to see, especially like Kevin too. For juniors, there was a lot of great competition. Again, a lot of Canadians came over. We had our people like Trey. He came out. We had like Jameer, another kid from our karate school. We had a lot of like kids come from our karate school. It was also a lot of. It was nice to see a lot of kids coming out, especially the Canadians was like definitely a big thing. So yeah.
I mean, they are not too far away if you really think about it, New York and Canada. So it's really nice that they were able to come and support. And it just adds a little different flavor to it, right? That international flavor.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And they also do have their own, I wouldn't say their own style, but they do bring a little bit different fighting, right, to the mat.
Hmm.
Did you judge it all?
I didn't judge. I scorekeeped, but I didn't judge.
Well,
Yeah.
that's also extremely important to just keep everything moving and going. There's also prize money on the line, so congratulations on winning that, which is also really
Thank you.
nice. So you're a full-time student too, right?
Yes.
Wow. So tell me more. I think what last time we chatted, you were in school. We
Mhm.
talked about balancing your school and your studies. How has that been going since then?
It's definitely I've definitely found it easier now since I'm a senior. So my schedule isn't as packed as it was my junior year. So
Mhm.
like finding time to train and stuff is very easier this year than it was last year. Also too like I don't have classes on Friday, so sometimes I go back home or I go find somewhere else to train just to like make it easier for me. So I do have a lot of free time now just to like just get working. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. How has the season been going otherwise for you?
It's been okay. Like, obviously you have your wins, you have your losses. But I don't look at my losses as like losses. I look at them as lessons. So like just learning from each loss that I've had and just coming back. So yeah.
Okay. Well, this one clearly was a good performance for you. How did you just feel, regardless of the fact that you won? But how did you feel at the tournament?
I felt good. Especially since like at America, I didn't do too well. I didn't do the way I wanted to do. So coming off of America, and I really just was putting in work, was like knowing that this is my next tournament. Don't know who I'm gonna see. Happened to see Savannah, who I did fight at America, and I did lose to. However, it's kind of like a circle effect in a way. So it was nice to be able to fight her again. So yeah.
It must have felt good to kind of come back on top after losing to one
Yeah.
person, whether that's Savannah or somebody else, just to kind of to show the improvement or even just the performance.
Hmm.
For sure. Okay. All right. And so as we think about the King of New York, you were there last year. How many years have you been going to this tournament?
I've probably been going to King of New York since I was competing in juniors. Uh, this is probably like my first last year. I think was my first year as an adult competing in King of New York. I think, um, but I've been going to King of New York for a while now because my mother helps with this tournament quite often. So like it's definitely good to see. Like obviously it has improved each and every single time I've been there. So yeah.
I was going to ask just how have you seen it change over time, whether that be back to when they did the crown for the awards or just the efficiency in running it. What have you noticed as a competitor in the past 5, 6 years?
It's definitely getting like the tournament is ending earlier, which I love. It still feels like you have your whole day left. The venue this year, so it was like bigger than it has been in the past. I was actually just telling my mom, I remember the venue that they had one year, it was like there was like a split in the middle. So like
Mhm.
even if we had it had underbelts on one side and black belts on the other side. So like when we used to have students come, you'd be running back and forth, missing divisions. So I
Mhm.
kind of liked how it was like open and was able to see everything. Um, Definitely like the venue that it was this year. But overall, like I said, efficiency was amazing. I feel like that was like my favorite part about it because I've gone to multiple tournaments where I'm sitting around, don't know when I'm going to compete. So yeah.
Something that Jesse was stressing in the pre-show was how easy parking was supposed to be. And you're from the city, so you understand how annoying it is to try to find parking. Did it live up to the hype that Jesse was saying? It was just a smooth situation and location.
Of course, because the last location too is in the Bronx. So like you used to have to like go around and find parking. If you don't get there early, it's hard to find parking.
Mhm.
So this time just having a parking lot, just park your car in and just go inside. It was so much easier than having to figure out, oh, what time do I have to get there to park the car and if I have to get there earlier. So yeah, it was definitely nice and smooth.
It's the little things sometimes that add up.
Hmm.
How did you and your mom get involved with helping this tournament?
My mom was just always doing some. She's an accountant, so she's very good with money. So they reached out to like even Susan. Sometimes they reach out to her and they ask her like, "Oh, can you just help with the front desk with organizing the money and stuff like that?" So like that was really it. And then I knew Jesse because obviously being in New York, you tend to train with the same karate schools from the Bronx to Brooklyn. So definitely a big tournament that I love going to. So yeah.
What team again are you on right now?
Right now, I'm with my karate school. It's just a dojo team, Team Blaze. So yeah,
Okay, cool. So no team fighting, but did you catch any team fighting at King of New York?
no, uh,
No.
yeah. I
Oh, I didn't. I was there no team fighting at this
don't think
tournament?
there was team fighting. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So tell me, we have 4-ish months left. We're the bottom end of the tournament season.
hmm.
What are your plans for the rest of the year?
Well, next week I'm going to Smack in Niagara Falls, and then after that it is Minnesota Diamonds, and then I would want to do Pan Am's, and then that's really how, and then K Talk also in New York in September. So that's
Great.
definitely it.
I feel like sometimes there's a lot of talk, especially because there are just a lot of tournaments in the Florida southern region. So there's always
Mhm.
a lot of talk about, oh, the best fighters are in Florida. What do you have to say to that coming from New York and multiple tournaments there are in New York?
I don't know. I feel like we have some great fighters out of New York. You have me, you have Ty. Even like our karate instructors, Shihan Troy Bins, even our young guys are coming out and they're coming up. Obviously, Florida is a big state. They got a lot of fighters in that state. They have a lot of tournaments that come out that state. I wish we did have just as many tournaments as we did in New York that they do in Florida. But I have to say, I don't really know. But I think our New York squad is definitely stacked for real. So yeah.
I think so too. And I do think there are definitely enough people in the state to justify putting on some more tournaments like Jesse's and I know Sue Diaz's and things like that. So hopefully, maybe some more will come to the region.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So, any feedback, anything that, as I'm sure Jesse's going to watch this post show, you would say to him that you liked from the tournament that you thought could be changed or tweaked a little bit, like, hey, man, keep doing this, or we could possibly do something like different.
I don't know. I kind of like how it was ran. Only thing I would have to say, because obviously, like, I got to root for my like juniors, like the juniors that we have coming up. I do miss like when we used to win like these crazy things for like I remember one time winning beats
Oh
at Jesse's
yeah,
tournament. Like people
yeah.
have won hoverboards at this tournament, so like those crazy things definitely. But that's really it. But it was otherwise, other than that, like the tournament is amazing. So yeah,
I remember, I think he did AirPods, and that was like before everybody had AirPods. It was like
yeah,
right first generation. He was giving out AirPods. I was like, that's a cool prize.
yeah.
So, okay, no, that's really cool, and I'm sure that's something that he'll listen to and possibly consider next year because kids really get. I mean, a hoverboard, kids get super excited about that stuff, especially
Exactly.
if it's not going to be money. It could be something really cool. So, okay,
Hmm.
all right. Well, thank you so much, Brianna. Congratulations for your win at the King of New York, Queen of New York here with us.
Thank
So I appreciate you coming on the Power Chat series.
Of course. Thank you for
All right,
having me.
of course. Okay, we